So it was just announced that Steph Curry broke his hand and he's expected to miss the next few months. And I gotta be honest, I was completely wrong about this year's Warriors team, and I don't think I'm the only one. You see, before the season started, I actually had them being around like the 6th, 7th, maybe even the 5th seed at max with the current team that they had. I also had Steph Curry having a pretty good chance of winning the MVP. I thought that we were going to see the old Steph, but so far this year, we've seen him and D'Angelo Russell. It hasn't really worked, and Steve Kerr not really making the best lineups as far as substitutions. And Draymond Green, yeah, let's not even get started on how bad he's actually been. But anyways, guys, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the Golden State Warriors and what's next for them, what they should be doing. So if you guys enjoy these kind of discussion videos about the NBA, make sure to go ahead and like up this video, and of course subscribe. On this channel we post the NBA discussion videos, and I really want to get into making these types of videos a lot more. Yes, along with the rebuilds and my Knicks series and my new series starting up on 2K in the next few days. But anyways, if you guys enjoy, make sure to go and like it up. As everybody says, like it up takes less than a second, and turn on your notifications because, yeah, YouTube is just hoeing anything involved with basketball right now. So make sure to turn those on and follow me on Twitter at LegendaryEA. But now that that's over with the intro, yeah, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors, because honestly, now there's a very, very good chance that they don't make the playoffs and they end up in the lottery. Alright, so getting into it, obviously last season we saw how they traded Kevin Durant for D'Angelo Russell and a first round pick. So pretty much what I've been reading, the Warriors keep their draft pick. I'm not sure who they traded it to, but they keep their draft pick if it falls into the lottery. It's lottery protected. And at this point, Klay Thompson was kind of teetering about him possibly coming back this season. At this point, Klay, chill. Like, you honestly need to chill. At this point, I think it would be a good idea for Klay Thompson to rehab the entire season, not even try to come back at all. And Stephen Curry, they just announced he's gonna be out for the next few months. This team is gonna be bad. This team is gonna be bad now. I do think that D'Angelo Russell will start to be playing a whole lot better, kind of close to what he did last season. I don't think he will necessarily get there because last season he also had Karis LeVert for a little bit of it. He had Jared Allen and he had Spencer Dinwiddie the entire time, and he had Kenny Atkinson as well. I do think that they will start to get back into his pick and roll offense, where he's the primary ball handler. But how is that supposed to work with Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney? That's still gonna turn into a lot of L's, and I do not think he'll be an all-star this season. However, I do think that he could possibly improve his trade value and possibly get traded during the offseason next year. Now, I do think that the pairing of Steph and D'Angelo could have worked. It's only been 4 games. I definitely think that as they built chemistry, it could have actually worked, but the experiment is over. Now we got to talk about what they do next, because obviously, like I said, they're going to end up in the lottery regardless. So first off, I do think that they need to get rid of Draymond Green. Now, moving his contract, I do believe he just signed an extension. It's going to be extremely hard, but the regression that Draymond has gone through the last 3 to 4 seasons is ridiculous. Like, this man went from being able to knock down threes consistently, being the best defender, the best passer, the best versatile player on that entire team, to where if Draymond was open for the 3, people closed out on him. Then he went to shooting like he had a backpack on, and it's like, yo, just let that man shoot that rock. And even though he is still the best passer on the team, everything else has gone down dramatically. Now, Draymond was a key part to them winning any of their championships, but at this point, he's not good. Like, that's the thing. At this point, he's legitimately not good. So I am gonna talk about some prospects that the Warriors probably should be targeting, whether their draft picks or their other star players in the league. And let's first talk about some of the draft picks, because first off, I do think that they should trade this pick. The Warriors are not in a rebuilding stage at all, because Steph Curry is at the end of his career. Yes, he's in his prime, but let's be real, he's like 30 now. He has about 4 years left in the league, and probably 3 years of being a top player in the league. Klay Thompson, same thing goes for him. I still think that Klay has like 3 to 4 years of being solid. Draymond is already not that good. So at this point, I don't think that they need to go with a young draft pick guy. That's probably why D'Angelo Russell isn't working. D'Angelo's like 22, 23. That's probably a big part of why it's not working, and he just doesn't fit their system all that well. But I think they need a guy who's ready to win, very, very hungry. And if they are going to get a young guy, it can't necessarily be a guard. But let's just entertain them landing in the top 5 somewhere. Even though this is the draft lottery, they can land anywhere. But one potential person for them to get is Lamelo Ball. The only reason I'm even going to talk about that is because it's not that he necessarily fits into their system. Is that he does add some of the stuff that Kevin Durant left. Lamelo obviously is a 6'7" guard, great passer, which is what they do. Great shooter. He's a volume shooter for sure. And he's a sneaky good defender. Obviously, well, he has sneaky good defensive potential. That's the thing. If you have noticed in some of his games, especially in the closer games, you do see him giving a better effort on defense. But the only way for them to draft LaMelo, they got to land in that top 3, as well as they're just banking off of potential, which is why I don't think that they would necessarily do it. Another prospect for them to target is James Wiseman. He's been compared to Anthony Davis. I don't necessarily see it, but he's definitely better than Kevon Looney, Damon Jones, or whoever they want to play at center on that team. Like, because the Warriors, another big problem with that team is their bench is god awful. So if they do add a center, James Wiseman, he probably will be the #1 overall pick. That would not be bad as well. Well, the odds of them even landing him are slim to none. Another player that they could actually pick up is Jaden McDaniels. He has the same frame as Kevin Durant. He's a 6'10" small forward. But once again, that's making off a potential. Same thing with Isaiah Stewart at center. I don't think that they should draft anybody with this. I don't think that they should get LaMelo, anybody in this draft. I think that they should try to trade this draft pick. I would say trade it with Draymond, but Draymond would lower that draft pick's value because they gotta take on his salary. But 3 players I do think that they could potentially make a blockbuster trade for if they're willing to go all out. One of those players being Karl Anthony Towns. Now, the Timberwolves really have no reason to do this draft, to actually do this trade, unless the Warriors end up with like the #1 overall pick. They have no reason to actually do this. The Timberwolves are in a state to where it's purgatory, and I am a Timberwolves fan. I would hate for us to trade Towns for anybody because the odds of a top draft pick hitting like he did is very, very slim. But I think that we need to rebuild. I think we need to rebuild. I don't like us picking Culver. I said that was a bad pick on draft night. I still don't really like it. Wiggins has been better this season, but realistically, he's not gonna turn out to what he needs to actually be. And how many years does this need to go on before after his previously signed extension he walks away? If the Warriors are able to trade, let's say, the #1 or #2 overall pick and a bunch of other draft picks similar to what the Clippers did with Paul George, I don't see a scenario where the Timberwolves necessarily turn that down. But the odds of that happening are very, very slim as well. Another trade that they could possibly make is Blake Griffin. So Blake Griffin, his contract is over, I believe, at the end of next season. So they could just wait for him, but they also could decide to make a trade. The Detroit Pistons, I know that they believe that they'll make the playoffs. They believe that they could possibly make a run in the playoffs, not to the finals, but like maybe like the second round. Like that's pretty much their ceiling. But adding Blake Griffin to the team, Blake Griffin pretty much provides everything that Draymond previously gave them, minus like the stellar defense. I mean, Blake Griffin is somebody who's a solid passer for his size. He's a great shooter. He's a great facilitator, and once again, he's way better than Draymond is at this stage in his career. So that could be a possible trade if they end up in the top 10, trading away that pick and one of those throwaway players off of y'all's bench. And if the Pistons really believe that Blake is going to leave them in a season, this could possibly be the trade if you guys include Draymond and they want to take on that. But that's the thing with the Warriors. I can't necessarily name anybody in the Western Conference that helps them. Like, they're not going to be getting a CJ. They're not going to be getting any Western guard or forward or even center because nobody has the incentive to help them at all. And the last player I could see them trading for, this one probably has the highest probability of actually happening, and that's Victor Oladipo. Obviously, Victor is coming back from an injury this season on the Pacers. If they can trade a top 10 pick for Victor, the Pacers might accept it. The only reason why I'm saying this is because, yes, the Pacers are a solid team even without him. It comes to the point that they are winning games without him. And Victor Oladipo at this point, he's like 26, 27 years old. If you could land a top 5 pick, because that's the thing with the Warriors, they would trade a top 5 pick for Victor because they don't have time to rebuild at all. Like, all their stars are aging out or already done in Draymond's case. At this point, they are in a win now mentality. So as far as the Warriors' future, it's going to be really tough for them to return to the NBA Finals. And honestly, I don't see it happening. Even some of the options I haven't listed out as far as players goes in this video, the odds of them happening are very slim. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. This was very hard because even these players, like, I don't necessarily see any of it happening. Like, Victor's probably the highest chance, and even then, there's a slim chance of that happening. So let me know what you guys think about the Warriors. They're not trading Steph. I doubt that they trade Klay Thompson. The only person for them to trade is Draymond Green and this draft pick. They're in a bad situation. They don't have any cap room. Their bench is terrible, and Steve Kerr is pretty much showing us that he's kind of an overrated coach in a way. But regardless, let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Make sure you go and like this video, and of course subscribe and share this video and all that good stuff below. Where do you guys think the Warriors are going to be in 5 years, man? I don't see them winning any more championships, maybe making the playoffs the next few years, because let's be real, even whenever Klay Thompson comes back with Steph, it's going to be a problem. And I forgot to mention, another trade asset that they do have is D'Angelo Russell. We'll see what they can get with that. But regardless, even if they have Steph, Klay, they keep D'Angelo. I mean, that's a solid starting line. Well, that's a solid 1 through 3, but their power forward, their center, and their bench is still atrocious. So they have a lot of problems if you ask me. But anyways, guys, like I said before, let me know what you guys think about that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This video was just a discussion. I didn't really come in with a script or any format or structure to it. I just wanted to talk about it because, like, it's kind of crazy how they go from being a dynasty to not making the playoffs. Like, that's crazy. But regardless, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace, y'all.